Hey everybody. So I have had many requests to do a video explaining the brushes that I use in my paintings and speed paints, and so I decided to do like a quick tutorial, well, not really a tutorial, but basically showing you how each of my brushes work. Okay, so I use SAI, and I usually create my own custom brushes. Sometimes I find some, but they're the ones that I don't usually use. So the brushes that I make myself are the ones that I use the most. So I will explain each of these right now. So the first brush that I've had a lot of requests to look at is basically the ones that I use for fur. So this first one is, I named it Fur 2 because I already had a fur brush previously, but it's basically has wide bristles, and basically all you do is inside you set the it should say simple circle, like you set it to bristle, and then you can change the settings, play around with them a bit, maybe use a lighter color on top to create layers, and that's how fur works a lot. So I used to use this brush a lot, but I didn't like the density of it, and I stopped using it. So that's when I moved on to a different brush, which is this paintbrush, and I use this for creating sketches as like a base, because it's quite light and it's nice to use for sketching. And in terms of creating the fur texture with this one, it's kind of much more softer, and it also has a flat edge, whilst this one doesn't have a flat edge. And it's good to actually like mix the colors together. But I mainly use this paintbrush for fur because it's obviously a much softer texture, especially when painting cat fur. Other brushes that I use consist of a line art brush, which is basically just a regular simple circle brush, and it's quite thin. I usually use a dark color with it to line my paintings or sketch, but I mainly use paintbrush for sketching rather than the line art brush, so you know. Other brushes that I have are mainly texture brushes. So I have sketching brushes, dust, quote unquote dust brushes, which I don't usually use unless I'm painting backgrounds. So I'll show you. The dust brush is kind of just like a paint splatter, and the setting is set to spread, so the brush spreads out, and then I just create darker colors to overlay it and play around with this brush to create bushes, trees, leaves, maybe rock textures. Sketch texture is a little bit different. It's a little bit softer, less frayed, and that's if I want to create like a more blurred out background possibly, or like softer textures. I occasionally use these brushes as well for sketching and line art if I want to do kind of like a rough sketch. So like this, it creates quite a rough texture. But if you want to, you can pause the video and get these brushes, or I am going to leave a link in the description with a link to the actual pictures of the brushes and screenshots of the settings that you can use for them. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching.